Good evening. My name is Dallas Coppins, and along with Caitlin Campbell, Jessica Propp, and Thomas Parsons, we will be presenting our ethical company project. We decided to select Toms of Maine as our company of choosing for this assignment. Throughout the presentation, we will be focusing on their involvement in the workplace, the community, and the environment, and the ethical theories that encompass the behaviors of the company and how they relate to Aristotelian business ethics. To ensure organization and that a wide range of scope is achieved, the following content will be covered. I will begin by introducing Toms of Maine and what they do as a company, followed by a short description of the ethical theories that we will be using throughout this presentation. We will then discuss the company's ethical involvement in the three key areas of business ethics: the workplace, the community, and the environment. And lastly, our conclusion. So who exactly is Toms of Maine? Toms of Maine was founded in 1970 by Tom and Kate Chappell, and it is an all-natural personal healthcare product corporation. The extensive product line includes a variety of soaps, toothpastes, deodorants, and mouthwashes that have intentionally been made without the use of harsh chemicals or the use of animal testing. The values and beliefs of Toms of Maine are simply to serve their customers with personal care products made entirely from nature and to help create a better world. Since 1970, Toms of Maine has increased in size and in 2006 was acquired by Colgate-Palmolive. Since the acquisition, Toms of Maine still strives to be a leader in innovation with effective, natural, sustainable, and responsible solutions for their customers. So what exactly makes Toms of Maine so great? Well, as previously mentioned, Toms of Maine only uses all natural products with no artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, or chemicals, with a strict no animal testing policy. They also strive to be a leader in sustainability by using recycled material for their packaging whenever possible, and encourage community involvement from their employees. We have applied three separate ethical theories to the business operations of Toms of Maine. First, teleology and utilitarianism, which are theories that focus on all the possible outcomes in a situation. Emphasis is placed on doing what will maximize the benefit and minimize the harm to society as a whole, basically to create the greatest good for the greatest number. Toms of Maine achieves this standard through its products and various initiatives within the workplace, community, and the environment. Second, deontology and Kantian ethics. This theory focuses on the duties, rights, principles, and places emphasis on doing what is right morally, regardless of outcome. The actions of Toms of Maine are consistent with the three-proposition Canadian ethics of morality: morally good intentions based upon duty, and duty respecting the moral law. Third, virtue ethics and Aristotelian business ethics. Virtue ethics focuses on the moral character of an individual organization rather than the rules and principles of behavior. Your actions are governed by the integrity of your character and requires a combination of reason and habit. Toms of Maine achieves this ethical behavior by acting in conformity of an ethical purpose or intention. They strive to provide good conditions and fair pay for workers and enable the employees to realize their own potential in the workplace, community, and the environment.
Toms of Maine's overall mentality regarding the workplace is to stick together and to take care of one another. They believe they're not just a team, but a family. In order to begin helping people live well in communities across the country, Toms ensures the health and happiness for its employees at home. To accomplish this, the company offers many ethical and enjoyable workplace benefits. These include a wide variety of traditional benefits such as medical and dental insurance, flexible work arrangements, paid vacation and holidays, and so on. Toms encourages its employees to volunteer in the community by allocating 5% of paid work time to volunteer initiatives of their employees' choosing. Year-round on-site wellness programs encourage employees to focus on their health and well-being. Employees have access to personal trainers, fitness classes, nutrition and self-defense workshops, yoga sessions, and on-site massages. For employees who work outside of the main offices, a $300 yearly benefit is provided, which can be used towards personal wellness items and activities. Toms of Maine offers parenting leave, which allows for 4 weeks of additional time off for new mothers or fathers. The company also offers an adoption benefit and will help employees who are interested in adopting a child. Further benefits include a casual dress environment as well as summer hours, where office hours are adjusted to allow for longer weekends. Tom supports environment activities and technologies that increase fuel efficiency and lower emissions. Because of this, they offer their employees a $4,000 benefit towards new hybrid car purchases. Lastly, Tom's provides its employees with an assortment of other benefits and goodies, like healthy coffee break snacks, baseball tickets, and a pet-friendly office. Tom's of Maine implements a teology approach by promoting the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people in several areas of its workplace environment. Firstly, by providing a wide range of health and wellness benefits such as medical and dental coverage, parenting leave, and their employee wellness program. It nurtures a sense of responsibility for everyone involved, which in turn maximizes employee happiness while reducing any personal or health-related issues that could be caused in the absence of these workplace benefits. Secondly, Tom's Volunteer Initiative, which strongly encourages employees to use 5% of their paid work time to volunteer, gives employees the opportunity to support causes in their community that matter to them. This in turn creates happiness for the employees and community members involved and reduces the suffering of individuals in the community who are benefiting from these volunteer efforts. Lastly, Tom supports innovative technologies that increase fuel efficiency and lower emissions. Due to this, they offer their employees a $4,000 benefit towards new hybrid vehicle purchases. By implementing this type of benefit, Tom's allows for its employees to purchase a vehicle that originally may have been out of budget, while at the same time encouraging respect for the environment. Kantian ethics is an ethical theory that is based on duty and principle. All the workplace benefits offered by Tom's of Maine, such as summer hours, volunteer opportunities, and parental leave, fall into a Kantian ethics approach as they are based on the company's duty, morally good intentions, and their respect of moral law. Furthermore, co-founder of Tom's of Maine, Tom Chappell, has developed 7 intentions for a workplace values profits balance. Some of these intentions include connecting with goodness, knowing thyself, and venturing out. Connecting with goodness is Chappell's desire for employees to find common ground and to steer away from titles. The intention of knowing thyself is the intent to help employees discover and tap into their passions, gifts, and strengths. Venturing out is another one of Chappell's 7 intentions and speaks to the idea that businesses are obligated to push value-enhanced products into the market. Tom Chappell's 7 intentions fall in line with Kantian ethics because they are morally good and based upon duty. Tom's of Maine acts ethically towards its employees through all their workplace benefits offered, which include excellent working conditions, great compensation, and most importantly, the allowance for their employees to realize their potential. As stated in Aristotle's Business Ethics, happiness means the realization of one's potential. Aristotle says a nation succeeds to the extent that its leaders create the opportunity and conditions under which people can develop and grow. With this in mind, Tom's has a management philosophy that promotes both soul and profit. This is realized by allowing the creative power of employees to emerge and to develop. To do this, authority figures at Tom's must step back. The results of this approach have been extremely positive. It has been noted that employees who have a stake in an organization's power are the most passionate and creative workers you'll ever find. Additionally, Tom's encourages its employees to explore their gifts. Co-founder of Tom's of Maine, Tom Chappell, says he wants his company to engage the passions and creativity of its employees with the goal of channeling that spirit into helping the organization to compete. His standpoint is that if employees have the freedom to grow, to experiment, and to create, the company and its employees will all benefit. Tom's Volunteer Initiative has also helped to realize this philosophy, as community service has opened many employees' eyes up to the possibility of life.
Hi, my name's Jessica, and I'll be talking with you about the community that Tom's of Maine ethically helps out, just kind of how they are a very great ethical company when it comes to the community around them. So I'm just going to start off on going over the different ways that they are able to incorporate the community in their day-to-day processes and how they truly help out. So Tom's of Maine does a lot to give back to their community. They offer hours during work for their employees to volunteer within their community. As previously mentioned in the presentation, TOMS offers 5% of the employee's paid time for each employee to go out and support an aspect of the community that they are passionate about. A few examples of past volunteer work involves building homes for Habitat for Humanity, helping with historical societies, maintaining local trails and facilities throughout the state parks in the area, and even something as simple as helping an elderly neighbor with yard work. TOMS offers this amazing opportunity not only for their employees' well-being, but for the well-being of their community. Another great way that TOMS of Maine is giving back to their community is with their profit sharing initiative. TOMS donates 10% of their profits every year to not-for-profit organizations that are community-based and committed to human, health, and environmental goodness. Autism Speaks, Hope for the Warriors, and United Ways are just a few organizations that have benefited from TOMS profit-sharing initiatives. 50 States of Good campaign is yet another way that TOMS of Maine contributes to their community. This campaign was put in place to give back more than $1 million to 52 nonprofits across the states. That's a really good chunk of money for each state. Since TOMS of Maine is such a family-based organization, a huge reason that they started this campaign is because it provides an amazing lesson for children, whether it's the children from the TOMS employees or children of parents participating in the actual campaign. Last but not least, TOMS of Maine helps fund community-based dental clinics fill the gaps in dental coverage and access with their Dental Health for All initiative. This is an amazing opportunity as well for TOMS to give back to the community as they provide over $1 million in funding to more than 35 schools and community-based dental clinics in their area. It's made over 200,000 additional annual patient visits possible for individuals within their community and supplied over 1 million tubes of free toothpaste to the community. In addition, TOMS of Maine also offers a fun downloadable coloring book on their website called Brushing Fun, which helps donate money and toothpaste to support healthy smiles in their community. Here is one of the advertisements put out for the 50 States of Good campaign calling for volunteers. Touches on two great community-based initiatives offered by TOMS of Maine and shows how volunteering helps the community and the company. It reads, TOMS of Maine 50 States for Good program mobilized more than 2,000 volunteers in 2011 alone, stirring up goodness in their communities. The first hand reads, more than half of the Americans who volunteered in their time last year knew it would be emotionally rewarding. This helps build employee and community morale. The second hand reads, 3 out of 4 Americans have volunteered their time to help charities or causes, averaging nearly 2 full days of donated time per year. This shows how the community really pulls together to help each other out, even if it means giving up their own time to do so. The third hand reads, 86% of Americans would most like to volunteer their time in their own communities. This is what TOMS of Maine hopes to achieve with their volunteer program. By allowing each employee 5% of their paid work time to volunteer, they're helping the company, employees, and the community. The fourth hand reads, Americans who have volunteered would feel more rewarded by spending an hour each week donating their time than getting a 5% bump in salary. Ethical behavior is maximizing happiness while reducing pain and suffering. This is a basic description of teleology in general, but how does it apply to the community TOMS of Maine is surrounded by? Well, there are 2 huge ways that TOMS of Maine is able to maximize community happiness, which also reduces the community's pain and suffering. Firstly, TOMS Dental Health for All initiative is the exact definition of teleology. TOMS is able to provide all this dental care to the community, financially and educationally, which certainly maximizes the community's happiness, because who isn't happy when they have clean, healthy, and not very sore teeth? Now with the access to dental care, they may have not been accessible without the Dental Care for All initiative. The community members who would have benefited from this would be in pain. This initiative is not only maximizing happiness, but it also plays a huge part in reducing pain and suffering. Another great example of teleology within the community is the 5% paid work hours offered for employee volunteering in the community. This may seem like it mostly benefits the employees, but community also strongly benefits as they are receiving extra help that they may not have been able to financially provide. The organization's actions are consistent with Kant's 3 propositions of morality: moral good intentions, based upon duty, duty respecting the moral law. This is the basic definition of deontology. Under Kantian's principles, the moral law, or objective moral law, would be to give back to the community. From a business perspective, The duty performed to respect this moral law would be through providing financial, educational, and physical help to the community. Toms of Maine exemplifies this theory in the workplace with all their community-based initiatives, but the one that shines brightest is their profit-sharing initiative. This initiative was put in place with exceptionally good intentions, which is to help and give back to the community, which is 100% the moral law that the company has set for their community standards. With the profits being split and shared within the community, I can't think of a more appropriate example of duty that respects the company's moral law based on community. In conclusion, the profit-sharing initiative's duty to provide financial help to the community is done in respects to Toms of Maine's moral law in relation to the community to give back to their community. That's a lot of community. Aristotle's outlook on an ethical company strongly suggests that act must be delivered with deliberate moral intention, not accidentally. I strongly believe that all of Toms of Maine's community initiatives were done with the community in mind, and not one was accidentally benefiting the community. Here's a breakdown of why I think all these initiatives are examples of Aristotelian business ethics. First, we have the Employee Volunteer Initiative. I can't imagine in any way how the initiative was brought upon accidentally. Toms of Maine knew that they would be losing 5% productivity from each employee to this initiative, but they were helping the community, so this initiative is clearly delivered with moral intention in mind. Next, we have the Profit Sharing Initiative, which I feel with previous explanation of it, it is clear that Toms of Maine did not accidentally donate 10% of their profits for the good of their community. Their moral intention of this initiative was good from the beginning and could not have been accidentally brought upon unless their whole accounting department is really, really bad at their job. In addition, there is the 50 States of Good campaign, which donates over $1 million to 52 organizations across the states. Toms of Maine, again, did not accidentally donate over $1 million to 52 states. However, they did perform this campaign with more than the community in mind. As found on their website, Toms believes that this campaign is important to their company in addition to their community. Whatever the case, this campaign was still done with good moral intentions and not accidentally, which shows true Aristotelian business ethics. Finally, there is the Dental Health for All initiative. With this initiative, Toms provides dental care and dental products to the community for those members who may not have access to this care on a normal basis. Toms donates over $1 million to supply this care and donates free toothpaste to clinics and schools within their community. This last initiative also has good moral intentions in mind, and unless Toms unknowingly dumped a bunch of toothpaste on the doors of all the local dental clinics and schools, it's safe to say that this initiative also did not come about accidentally. Next, we're moving on to the environment, so enjoy.
Another way in which companies demonstrate ethical behavior is through their approach to environmental sustainability. Toms of Maine has made environmental stewardship one of the core focuses of their business practices. Since its foundation, the company has maintained the belief that both human beings and nature have inherent worth and deserve our respect. Many of the employees maintain this belief and have a deep sense of value for the natural world. Toms of Maine has been focused on ethical environmental practices since its beginnings. These environmental practices are centered on their sourcing, manufacturing, and packaging. In terms of sourcing, Toms of Maine prides itself on the use of all natural ingredients in all their products. They use the term naturally sourced, which refers to when an ingredient has not significantly changed from its natural state. The company believes in minimal processing, and therefore all of its preparation processes must support their philosophy of human and environmental health. These guidelines include complete avoidance of harsh, environmentally toxic chemicals such as peroxides and dyes, and using naturally occurring processes such as fermentation. Unlike many companies in the personal care product industry, Toms of Maine's priority in its manufacturing processes are focused on long-term environmental sustainability. Starting in 2006, the company has offset 100% of the electricity used in its manufacturing plants by participating in Green E, the nation's leading independent certification and verification program for renewable energy in the retail market. In addition, the manufacturing facilities operate using sensor-controlled fluorescent energy-saving fixtures. When it comes to the packaging of their products, Toms of Maine takes several environmentally conscious approaches. The toothpaste cartons they use are made of post-consumer recycled cardboard. In addition, the company started packaging its toothpaste in aluminum barrier laminate tubes rather than plastic laminate, which is a more environmentally friendly material. In order to reduce waste, Tom's of Maine prints all of its corrugated cases using waste ink, and on its professionally printed materials and packaging, they use a vegetable-based ink as opposed to a harsh synthetic. It is clear that Tom's of Maine prioritizes environmental sustainability. Many people would consider their approach to be ethical company behavior, but is this behavior consistent with the ethical theories of utilitarianism and Kantian ethics? Would Aristotle consider Tom's of Maine an ethical company? Let's take a closer look. Utilitarianism's main concept is to maximize pleasure and happiness while minimizing pain and suffering. The maximization is not simply on an individual level, but for as many people as possible. Therefore, under this theory, ethical behavior is considered that which maximizes happiness and minimizes pain for the greatest number of people. Under these principles, Tom's of Maine would definitely be considered an ethical company. The well-being of the environment affects every person on Earth. If our planet continues to suffer unsustainable, polluting business practices, all human beings will eventually suffer the consequences of environmental catastrophes such as climate change, lack of fresh water, and polluted air. Tom's of Maine takes an approach that focuses on sustainable practices. This negates the negative effects on the environment, which therefore maximizes the happiness of all people. Tom's of Maine also demonstrates ethical behavior through its products, which use naturally sourced and healthier ingredients, as opposed to the typical synthetics found in personal care products which may have potentially negative health consequences. Kantian ethics is a theory based on duty or principle. Under this theory, it is believed that duties are universal for all people and that they are absolute. Acting ethically from a Kantian standpoint suggests that individuals and organizations must perform their moral duty, which is respecting moral law that is universal to all people. Under Kantian principles, the moral law or objective truth would be to respect the environment. From a business perspective, the duty performed to respect this moral law would be through environmentally conscious business practices. Tom's of Maine therefore performs this moral duty through its environmentally friendly sourcing, manufacturing, and packaging approaches. By being motivated by their duty to protect the environment, they are respecting the moral law. Kent would therefore deem Tom's of Maine an ethical company because their intention is good as it is motivated by their duty. When discussing Aristotle's outlook on an ethical company, one important aspect to consider is that he stressed that an act is not ethical if it is accidental. It must be delivered with deliberate moral intention. When applying this concept to Tom's of Maine, it is clear that none of their actions are accidental. Their approach to environmental sustainability has been at the core of their business practices since their inception in the 70s. As we've seen, everything they do takes into consideration the environmental consequences, both short and long term. Aristotle also stated that motivation is a powerful indicator to which virtue is present in social acts. By going above and beyond in terms of environmental stewardship, Tom's of Maine has shown that their motivations are virtuous. Therefore, based upon their deliberate intention and motivations for environmental sustainability, Aristotle would deem this company to be ethical.
No company is perfect, and here's why. Although Tom's of Maine has always strived to maintain strong, ethical behaviors in the workplace, the community, and the environment, they recently sold the majority of their shares to Colgate-Palmolive. In the past, Colgate has not been known to strive for sustainability, and it is possible that with the purchase of the majority of Tom's of Maine, that their values and beliefs can become overshadowed by Colgate's initiative to make a profit, regardless of its impact on society. In conclusion, it's important to understand that no company is 100% ethical. We have determined that Tom's of Maine is pretty close. They have proven to be a highly ethical company in the workplace, the community, and the environment, acting in a virtuous manner in accordance with Aristotle and his theory on business ethics. They are constantly striving to be a leader in their communities and providing support to their employees. Many businesses and organizations could learn a lot from Tom's of Maine and their ethical values and beliefs. Here's a list of our references that we used for the project, and they are presented in the annotated bibliography. That will conclude this presentation. Thank you.